All right, third edition of these vlogs. I'm actually really starting to come to enjoy these. At first, it was a bit intimidating to record these, look at myself on the screen, and have to get my thoughts out and accurately communicate the thoughts and then turn them into words. That's difficult for me to do. I have a lot that goes on in my brain. The wheels are just constantly turning, and it's hard for me a lot of the times to turn those thoughts into words. And so with these vlogs, they've been helping to be able to express myself in a better manner, a more effective manner. And I just I just told everyone and anyone that follows on Instagram that these vlogs are available. So they are now public. People know about them. I didn't plan on doing it. It just kind of happened. So cool. Yeah, here we go. I only have 15 minutes. YouTube only allows 15-minute max length videos, I found out. So I'm going to go a lot faster through this because I have a lot to talk about. So recap on last week. It's very interesting because Monday happened and recorded vlog number 2, and I was just crushing on cloud 9. I thought that I was on a all-time high, right? And then just feeling super good about myself, super confident. And then Tuesday came around, and I got sick, and it was super sucky. One, because I was sick, I was throwing up, and also because Monday, the day before, I was just felt like I was on top of the world, and on Tuesday I woke up and I felt like the lowest of the low for no apparent reason. Nothing really happened as far as an event that would have but caused me to feel low. And so I went from Monday crushing, super confident, positive, feeling like I could take on anything, to feeling super depressed on Tuesday when I woke up, and helpless, and just not hopeful about the future. It was very interesting, and I got through it though. I knew that in order to appreciate happiness and the highs, you need to experience some lows, or else everything would just be all stagnant and there'd be no range of emotions without the bad. But it was just interesting that it happened right after I was feeling on top of the world. So Tuesday was a very humbling day, to say the least, and it took me down a peg or two. And then, luckily Wednesday, woke up, started crushing again. Thursday, same. And then Friday, I went to California to attend this mastermind that my business partner is a part of, and I was able to come with him. This was the second one that I've been to, and I learned so much. It was so crazy because that Saturday, the day of the mastermind, we've been trying to get to 1K in a day, right? And it's funny because it's actually on my my list of goals. Come to think of it, I need to check that off. However, Saturday night, it was winding down the whole event. The event itself was freaking awesome, and we were doing really well as far as our store that we were running. We had really consistent sales all throughout the day. In fact, I woke up on Saturday to, I think, like $250 already for the day in sales. So it was like, oh my god, we're already crushing it. And I just woke up, so let's see where it goes. And then sure enough, when we were all getting ready to leave, it was me, a couple of my mentors, and my business partner. We were leaving, and we were at I think like 9:49 for the day, and sure enough, we got another order and broke 1,000, and it was super cool because Chase, who is the owner organizer of the Watchers, he has a recurring um, recurring program that he does, a recurring revenue team, and he said that anyone who is a member of the I and has been, making at least 1K a day, we can get you talking to our team that does recurring revenue, which is ultimately what we want Spoil Much to become, or to get on, because recurring revenue is where it's at. You don't have to do a whole lot of work after you get it all set up, and it's just like cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Every month you're just rolling in it. So that's the goal, and it was crazy because he was there at the time when we first broke 1K, and we're just, oh yeah, so awesome. And after that, we're like, hey, let's get this recurring set up. So it's happening a lot faster than I initially thought it would, which is always freaking awesome. Better than going too slow. So it's really, really cool to hit that milestone of making $1,000 in one day. Granted, this is gross revenue; it's not take home. However, these numbers are freaking dope because like I said, I was making that in like 2 weeks before at my old job. So really crazy, cool stuff. So at the event as well, I'm kind of an outsider within the mastermind itself, meaning that I didn't pay anything, as far as all these other guys paid 30 grand to join and be a part of this mastermind, and I just came in halfway through with my business partner, and a lot of these other I members, I could I'm a little, I don't know. I don't know if this is true or not. It could just be my own perception. However, they were a little standoffish, I guess, if you will, towards me. And the reason being, I believe, is because this outsider comes in, and this whole ecom space, it's very much like I'm going to protect what I have because I don't want you to see my ideas and then go run with my shit, right? So a lot of other members were kind of, they have their computer screens open talking to other people, and then I would come around and they'd, lower it. Like I said, this could just be stories I'm making up in my head. However, what's cool about this is one of the guys that actually did that exact same thing, he shut his computer, no, he turned it a little bit when I was getting near him, and he was talking to one of Chase's team members, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. The vibes were weird, and so later on that night, I kind of cornered him, so to speak. I was like, hey, struck up a conversation with him, which hella out of my comfort zone. I'm not really big into first starting conversations, let alone talking to people. That's not really my forte. I'm working on it. So people I didn't even know, and I was like, my back was against the wall, like, I don't know if they like me or not. And then I was just like, fuck it. I'm not in California, part of this mastermind, to just sit there, twiddle my thumbs, and listen to all these other cool stories. So I talked to this guy, and took him a little bit to warm up, for him to see that I wasn't a threat at all. Long story short, he owns a digital marketing agency. Him and his buddy, well, his business partner, they do web design, build landing pages, funnels for these Beverly Hills doctors and, high-end plastic surgeons. And so got to talking and, exchanged numbers. And I said that I am working for my mom's, medical spa. And, he took a look at her site, and we became like really good, and we hit it off like right off the bat. So it just goes to show that a lot of this shit, I don't know if I was making that up in my head. I don't think that I was, because I'm pretty perceptive, although my perceptions, they can be wrong. They're biased, obviously. However, I think that, what I learned, all right, let's sum this up. What I learned is the more you don't express yourself, the more you're kind of closed off, reserved, not really opening up to people. You kind of have your cards, close to your chest. The more that they will kind of think you're a little sketch, or they won't open up to you near as much. So since I was kind of, had my cards close to my chest, no one really knew like who the fuck is this guy, right? And then once I talked to him one-on-one, I talked to, multiple other people that, got their information, and just my my revenue streams are going to be accelerating at a massive rate, like a lot faster than I, anticipated, which is awesome, because once you get over those like bullshit stories you have in your head, you put yourself out there, you lay your cards down, be like, yo, this is who I am, this is me, take it or leave it. More often than not, they will put their cards down as well, and because they have their cards close to their chest, because you do, and so lay them out. Both laid them out, and then we had a lot in common with each other that I wouldn't have even realized unless I would have, made the first move, taken myself out of my comfort zone. And it was dope. And, I'm becoming more and more okay to get out of my comfort zone. And the rewards are freaking awesome. So it's about all the time I have right now. I'm going to be crushing it this week with, me and my brother just opened up another store, or a store, our first store. I'm branching off a little bit from my business partner so he can kind of get his ducks all in a row for Spoil Much. We're going to be hiring on another team member. I'm super stoked about that, so we'll be able to start scaling super quick. So it's happening. It is happening. And it's all about just consistency and discipline. And just even when like on Tuesday, when I got taken down a peg or two, I was sick, it's just like, so hopeless. What the fuck is going on? Picked myself back up Wednesday and Thursday. So glad, because Saturday, the event that came was awesome. So learned a lot. I'm going to be applying it this week, and just so until next week, see you fellas and ladies, or whoever's watching. Peace.